This is the What's Neat this week.
It's a happy, happy show, and you guys are all happy, and that's all I care about. All right. Your name is Campbell.
Sugar fire is over there.
All right, Daniel, give me a countdown, and let's pretend like we're going to have some fun tonight. Look at the clock, stopwatch, get on there.
I got it.
Okay. I know, this is awesome. Best people in the world, and I love this hobby. Ready? Somebody give me a countdown.
All right, so in 3, 2, 1.
The What's Neat This Week video podcast is supported by enthusiastic model railroaders just like you. Further support is provided by Microengineering, keeping you on track with quality products for 55 years. Check out their website at www.microengineering.com. Order from your local dealer or order direct by calling 1-800-462-6975. Additional support is provided by Yelsma Graphics, America's leading distributor of quality railroad art and embroidered clothing since 1985. Check out their website at yelsma.com.
Additional support for What's Neat This Week is brought to you by SoundTraxx, industry leaders in model railroad sound and technology for over 30 years. Now please visit our website at SoundTraxx.com, and at checkout, be sure to use the promo code WNTW15 for 15% off of your purchases.
Further support is provided by the NCE Corporation, the power of DCC. Visit their website at ncedcc.com. And thank you for supporting the What's Neat This Week podcast. This is the What's Neat This Week, show number 142 for January 9th, 2021. I'm your host, Ken Patterson, the host of the What's Neat Show over at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine. And tonight, Campbell can attest to the fact that I got February's show done, didn't I?
Yes, you did. In the nick of time.
Rock and roll, so I'll get that rendered to you, Joe, on time. Tonight, we've got a lot of great people in the room because this is the best hobby in the world, and I've got some of the best people in the hobby with me tonight. I'm going to start on the end here and go in an order so we can get all the words underneath just right. I've got Campbell Rice.
Hello, everybody.
Campbell.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hey, Campbell. On Skype tonight, I've got Dan Scheidel. You'll remember.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Dan. You'll remember Dan is a gentleman that is our new drone pilot. I've been bragging about him now for the last couple of months, and some of his first footage ran in the What's Neat video that's running right now in January, the pine tree shot, opening up the how to make the different ponderosa pines. So rock and roll, what a great drone pilot you are. Also tonight, I've got with me from Microengineering, I've got Carrie Gray. Hello, Carrie.
Hi.
I've also got one of her cohorts from work, and that is Russell Tamaris.
Hello.
Hey, Russell.
How's it going?
Welcome to the What's Neat Show. And on the very end over here, Daniel, we've got Joshua Barton.
What up, everybody?
Otherwise known as Sugar Fire. And boy, are we going to have fun tonight. First of all, we've got these wonderful folks from Microengineering, both Carrie and Russell, and that is because, in my opinion, they are the ones that work in Santa's workshop. They are the ones that bring us our wonderful track that makes all of us super happy to run our trains on. Isn't that right?
Absolutely.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And I've shot B-roll of you and your brother. I'm going to run that right now. You guys were working, you were replacing a
mold in the Battenfeld. So they're heavy, so we gotta use the crane lift and kind of get them out of there and replace the big one with the new big one. They're heavy, so you gotta be very careful.
Those things weigh like 50 or 75 pounds, don't they?
Yeah, they're heavy. I can't even pick them up by hand. So.
Wow.
I've got some video footage I'm going to run right now of a time that we had visited Microengineering. We had a guest from a museum out in Colorado with us, and we got to see Pongo the dog, with us, and we were all touring microengineering. And while we were walking around, I remember Ron Rands was in the picture in this film clip I'm showing you, but you were the gentleman that was sitting down making the track while we were all walking around getting our tour.
Yeah, that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. I run the Newberry machine, which is what makes our tracks, which, you know, 2 pieces of rail in the mold, 4 shots make a whole track.
It's amazing. And we've got some of your track on the table tonight, and you probably made this. I think that's a piece of code 70 that Campbell's holding right there. And we've also got some ON30 track. We've got some concrete track. You guys make large-scale track, too. I've got a piece of that right here, and this is code 250 rail on this. You also make turnouts. And Carrie, I've got some footage of you stocking you were doing inventory when I came by, weren't you?
Yes.
You were counting track. And I got you to smile and wave.
Yes.
And that clip came out good. But I've been there so many times, and I've seen you assembling turnouts. So you hand lay track and don't even know that you do. But there's a lot of work, a lot of hand work that goes into making these turnouts, isn't there?
Yes, sir. There is. It's time consuming, but it is very detail oriented. If you don't get it right, it's not going to function for your layout. So we got to get it right.
I've seen Ron work with the milling machine, and he was making the points, and I don't have video footage of this, but I do remember that day when he was sitting down there getting the mold to be just, and it wasn't a mold, it was more like a holder that held 10 or 12 or 14 different switch point rails at the same time. And you guys mill the switch point rails in 2 spots, on the front and on the back. And just that part alone takes a great amount of time from what I saw.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
It's amazing because I don't think people realize really how much work goes into making turnouts. They're made by hand. These are literally handmade here in the USA. And it's amazing that you guys, I mean, and you got to see the layout tonight, really. Is this like the first time you've been able to see your track components?
Really at hard work, yes.
Yeah, it's something new. You know, I mean, like I said, I run the machine, so I don't really get to see what you guys do with the final product. So finally getting to see what the final product looks like is actually really neat.
Gratifying.
It's what's neat this week.
That's perfect. That's exactly why we call it What's Neat. Because what you do for us is neat. And that's really what I wanted to, to portray here on tonight's show. Because I love getting out of this basement and going over there and hanging out with you guys. It's my chance to get out of here. Because I'm here 7 days a week all the time doing something. But then when I go down there, I see you guys working. And I'm the big distraction, right?
And what's unique about you guys is you're right here, not overseas. You know?
I was just getting ready to say that.
So that's what I like about microengineering is it's made right here in the United States, right here outside of St. Louis.
All the different products that you guys have, not just the track, but you know the piers and everything that you guys do.
Yes.
Is a big thing that a lot of people I don't think even know about. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
So we need to get your website out there so people can actually go there and see some more stuff other than your track.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring this up. I think it's safe to say. Every time I went there, you would tap me on the shoulder and say, "Hey, Ken, help us." What would you tell me?
Help me out with the website. We had a compromise on the website.
We've got a friend named Dan Parmalee. You guys have seen him on the show. That's our airline pilot that comes and visits once in a while, and he's working with Ron presently, and the guys are cohorting together to create a brand new microengineering website in the next 3 or 4 months. That's all going to go together, where there actually is going to be a shopping cart on that, which is going to make y'all's job harder because then you're going to show up to work and there's going to be orders to process.
That's right.
I'm just gonna, like I do every day, just keep checking out some train tracks for you guys.
That's right.
Right.
Absolutely.
And when you call microengineering and place your order by calling the phone number, Carrie's the one that you're placing the order with.
That's right.
Isn't that right?
It is.
That is cool.
It is. Once in a while, I'm not there, but that's very few and far between. Yes.
I heard you working with a customer the other day, and some of those phone calls get kind of long.
They do. They can. People have lots of questions. They want to know lots of things. A lot of people think that these turnouts go in a machine and they just come out completed. And that is so not the case.
No, far from it.
There may be a run of one particular type of turnout that handwork could take up to 2 weeks to complete that complete lot of 500 turnouts.
Wow.
It could take 2 weeks to a month.
Wow.
So it's very time consuming and very detail oriented. Everything's got to work properly, or else you guys are going to call me mad.
I showed you pictures earlier of my ladder track system in my yard, and I think that's one of the most phenomenal things that you guys make.
The
I
number
love it.
5
Yeah.
ladder track
Yes,
system.
the ladder track is awesome.
Stephen Priest did a magnificent article
Yes.
in Model Railroad Craftsman about that. And we've also covered that on the What's Neat show at Model Railroad Hobbyist. And we've also talked about that on the podcast. And I wish I would have went up to the garage and thought about it, but I have a display built for that I'm running video clips of right now to show you and illustrate to you the savings in the distance of track. And I wish I could read the numbers right now because I don't have it memorized. But it literally went from something like 64 inches down to 40-something inches. The difference between using standard number 6 turnouts just to this number 5 ladder track system. And the frog degree angle and everything has been mathematically calculated so that the transition and the switch points, it just saves space. So for the gentleman that's making a hidden staging yard or that has an accessible staging yard, it's amazing the space savings that you guys came up with.
Yeah.
And Ron, hats off to you on that.
Absolutely.
For what you
sir.
designed.
Yeah.
And they just work. I mean, they work flawlessly. I mean, everything from an auto rack to anything just runs right across it. I've never had a derailment issue with them whatsoever. They just work perfect.
I'm going to show you the video footage right now of a big boy running through it. We ran it through forwards and backwards. I almost ran the big boy off the edge of this diorama, as I recall. And we also ran a northern through it, forwards and backwards. The northern, you can see the northern, and that's a big long wheel arrangement, you know, the 484 northern, and it also goes through the number 5 turnout just right. So rock and roll. There's another great edit, and that's what I love about this show is I've got all these clips right here so that you can see them on your screen while y'all are out there watching. We've also got with us tonight Dan Scheidel. Dan, you're out on Skype with us in Skype land. And what part of the country are you talking to us from?
I am in Eugene, Oregon. Eugene's about 2 hours south of Portland, Oregon, in the Willamette Valley.
And Dan, you have a passion for modeling yourself. You were describing your layout to me a little bit, which we're not going to show on the show tonight. But you do model in HO scale, don't you?
Yep, I model in HO. I've done a little bit of my own weathering. I don't know too much as far as, you know, I've never done much with scenery and that kind of thing, but I built a layout that taught me how to solder and, you know, lay in track the best I could. And it's fun what you can learn just by, you know, attempting it yourself for once.
That's awesome. And Campbell Wright, you're partially responsible for this relationship that we have with Dan because
Yes.
you found him online, didn't you?
Yes, I did. So I've gotten into drones sort of a little bit this year. I got my first one last year for Christmas, and I have since upgraded, but not as upgraded as Dan has. And I'm not near as good the pilot that he is, but just looking, you know, at drone videos on YouTube kind of got me interested in, you know, what I need to do to try to improve. And then I ran across Dan, and I said, I might as well forget it because I'll never be as good as he is. So.
Thanks, Campbell.
Yeah.
It's all about composition, isn't it? It's about the setup of the shot. And in the February's video that I just described to you that I finished a little while ago, I run some of Dan's footage where you were out shooting the big boy locomotive, number 4014, Union Pacific's amazing, largest steam locomotive ever made. And you got some fantastic footage. I'm probably running some of it right now. But tell me, you got sound on this video. How did you do that?
I did. First of all, I saw 4014 twice last year. I saw the inaugural run in May. I caught it out of Ogden in Utah, and then later in the year, I think it was October, the Southwest Tour, and I chased it from Provo, Utah to almost Las Vegas, Nevada. But that's the one, that Southwest Tour, where I took time, as well as flying and taking the video. I actually took time when I was pacing the train in my vehicle. I had a stupid little recorder thing there, and I was just capturing sound as I paced along the train, and I tried to capture it at different speeds as well so that I could make it look accurate to what you're actually seeing, or sound accurate, depending on the speed and stuff. So I spent a whole lot of time editing in that sound that I captured from, it was just from pacing it in the car.
Dude, it's absolutely amazing.
Do you have your drone there handy by chance?
Yeah, we can go over some stuff here if you guys like. So this is the DJI Inspire 2.
Wow.
And this really is the Ferrari of quadcopters, to be honest.
Yes, it is.
So I'll start it up here for you just to show you some stuff real quick. But the first thing noticeable is that this one actually has interchangeable cameras.
Wow, look how big that is.
Wow.
I thought that was just a little bitty drone.
No, it's big.
That's
and what's neat about
huge.
that one, when it takes off, the legs come up in the air.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The legs retract upward, and then what's neat about this is that the camera, you'll see as it starts up, it actually rotates all the way around.
Oh,
So you
cool.
have control of it, not
Wow.
just in the front of the drone, but all the way around as well. And
So that's not your standard $1,500 Best Buy drone.
No. In fact, Hollywood uses a lot of these in their filming.
I actually has a second camera, which is right here. So when you play, I use an eye to see what I'm flying. I actually have the main camera image as well as a little display up in the.
You're breaking up
I
on
can
us.
look at the smaller camera to see where I'm flying, and there's a mode.
I know, I'm seeing it too. It's on his end.
Yeah.
He just froze. That's all right. This is where we do an edit. That's okay.
Yeah.
Shh, it's okay. Don't worry. Can you hear us yet?
That's me.
Yeah, we did lose you, but that's okay.
All right, just turn it back around on yourself there.
Can you hear me, Dan?
Yeah.
That's a very impressive a machine that you have. Just absolutely blown away by it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's really not your standard $1,500 drone, is it?
No, it's up there. Feel free to Google the price.
That's amazing. What is one of the most favorite videos that you've made? Is there a favorite part of the country that you like to fly through?
I feel very fortunate where I live, and within a few hours I can be in a totally different kind of terrain. My favorite place probably is the Deschutes River Canyon on the BNSF, the Oregon Trunk Sub, which is south out of the Columbia Gorge in central Oregon, and very deep, rugged canyon walls. It's just so dramatic, and it's nice not being too many trees. I like places that are not so treed in, so you can have the freedom to fly as you kind of want to, and so it's so dramatic, and it's easier to fly because of the less trees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. We have trees everywhere here. That's a lot of our problem.
Yeah. Right.
And you can't get a good clear shot of the trains because you got so many trees in so many places.
Right. Yeah. I struggle with that here at home in the Willamette Valley a lot. There's some open places, but again, there's trees everywhere too, especially any short lines for the most part are treed in.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. And thank you very much for joining our team, for helping us. Because the real issue, the real point of having drone footage, and you've seen this with Stephen M. Conroy, our wonderful drone pilot from out in California that we've been working with for a couple of years, and now with Dan, is that it really gives us a perspective of how our model railroad should look. If it were a test, all the answers to the test are right there with what you capture, because you fly at about 150 or 200 feet above the subject, above the trains. And of course your subject you like is trains. So you get great composition of them, but really look at the colors of automobiles. Look at the colors of the trees. How does the yard look? What color is the ballast? How tall are trees? Everything comes into perspective, whereas if you make your model railroad look just like the footage that you see in this drone footage that we always look at, then you win. Those are all the answers to your test on how to make a layout look great. And prior to that, the only thing we could do is, shoot photographs from the ground, trackside, and use that for modeling images, which I've been doing for the last 100 years, or have a helicopter, and we all know those are like $1,400 an hour. At least that was the going rate back when I would fly for the BNSF courtroom models. They would take me up in a helicopter in order to see everything in order to build the model, and I would be up there shooting photos. In fact, Ron Rands, wherever he went, he was with me on one of those flights. So I was handing him the cameras, and he'd switch out film for me, and then I would take the camera back, and I probably got video footage I'm running right now of Ron and me on the tarmac getting into the helicopter right before. But that was our only way to know. And in fact, they flew me over my house, and that's when I started building the model of my house and had the Bluff model back there on my layout for the longest time, was because I had the ability to see what it looked like from the air. Once you can see what it looks like from the air, it's addictive.
Yeah.
It's like now you want to build it. And that's the beauty of drone footage. When I saw Dan's flight over those pine trees and I could see what they looked like, that's when I got the idea that there's more than one way to make a pine tree. And in February's video, I show you 4 different, oh no, this is January's video, I show you 4 different ways to make those Ponderosa, Caspia type different pine trees using different materials. Because his video footage really pointed out and showed me that they all look a little bit different. So that's really the goal, and that's what we like about working with you, Dan. I know. Did I just get on a rant?
Yes,
That's all
you
right.
did.
We like when you rant.
I know. Look at last week's show. I ranted about the 6-foot modules, and that turned out to be a good segment.
Yeah.
So I want to ask Russell a question, because I know you're sitting there working and building tracks and da-da-da-da-da all day long, and it's your job. It's just like my job. I don't even run my railroad down here because it's a job. But if you were to model, what do you think you would model? What scale would you even begin with to model if you did start to build a railroad someday? Because we're going to get you started on something. And you too, Carrie.
I'd probably go with the HO. It's more probably because it's more common and more probably easable to learn on than trying to work with something that would be more difficult to try to learn with.
Okay.
So I'd probably go with the HO.
And you know the difference between code 55 and code 70 track and code 100 track, so you can mix the 3.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
smaller track is used for really old industrial sidings, a code 55 rail.
Right.
The code 70 rail is pretty much standard 100-pound rail, 150-pound
around,
rail.
yeah.
And then the code 100 is a 132-pound rail. Carrie, what if you were to model something, build a narrow gauge layout or build something really neat, what scale do you think you would model in? You saw the Garden Railroad. I throw that into too.
I loved that. I don't think I could handle the N scale. My eyes I'd go cross-eyed, I think, by the time I was done with that. But I think I could definitely do HO, as Russell said, maybe code 70. I get a lot of calls about 83, but I'm more of like leaning towards 70. I think that not a lot of people use it as often. I think they kind of throw it aside a little bit, even though it's HO, and I just think that you should go with it.
What code do you think you sell the most of out of HO?
Definitely, probably 83.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And I do want to let you know that the turnouts are also available in 70, not just 83. The HO ladder track turnouts, the number 5s. Those are both
that's
available in 70 and 83. So that's a huge difference and a big advantage because you can mix and match and do what you need to do, and I think that's great.
That's fun. When I come over there, sometimes you have me answer emails.
Yeah.
The last email was a gentleman in Ireland that had a bar, and he had a train running around the top of it. And they don't call it a bar there. I think they call it a pub.
A pub,
A
yes.
pub.
Yep.
And he asked, how do I mix code 320 rail to 250 to code 250 rail?
332 maybe?
332, that's
Yes.
right. And he asked me how would I match those two, and I came up with 3 different scenarios on how you could go about matching up 2 different codes of rail. In fact, tonight you guys were talking about a question that was asked about how to match up code 70 with code 83. And you guys make something called transition rail joiners, don't you?
Yes.
Tell us how those work.
Russell makes those.
Russell makes them. How do those work, Carrie?
So you're going to go, there are 2 plastic pieces that are going to line your height of your rail up to where your 83 is going to butt to your 70, and it's going to let that transition go nice and smooth so your cars don't derail and you don't have any problems.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That was a good question because
Yeah.
that's a question that you're asked.
All the time.
I mean, what other, I'm going to put you on the spot. What other question comes to mind that people ask a lot of? Is there one question that they ask a lot about?
Do your products come from China?
Is that right?
We do get that question all the time, and they do not. I am here to tell you. They are all made in-house, starts with Russell, and then moves on down the line to the rest of us. for your finished products.
It starts with the Newberries to the packagers, and they fix and assemble and then package it, and then on to Kim, who ships it and sends it off to you guys wherever you are.
Shout out to Kim. She's
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
Kim is amazing.
Who else do you want to give a shout out to?
Ron Rands, of course.
Ron, you're awesome. Hey, Joshua, you've got something over there called a Modulox.
I sure do. This thing's pretty nifty here.
And Tim Wilson contacted us a few months back, and this is the part where we talk about the mom and pop companies that never get to have their products seen because they can't afford the full page ad that you see in the magazines. And here's a chance right now for Tim Wilson to shine with this product that he makes, this Modulox. And what it is it's the ends of a modular layout. In the past, you've seen us with the Midwest Valley Modelers layout. We put our modules together with bolts or C-clamps, and I did a What's Neat video on an N-scale layout where I designed the layout where it clipped together with magnets. But this system is interesting. It's got a key system underneath it where you put a what's that tool you're putting in there?
Allen wrench. Yeah,
Yep.
Allen wrench.
You put an Allen wrench into it, and it turns a locking mechanism inside so you can pull your modules apart, as Joshua is showing here right now.
I'll show how.
Yeah, there you go.
Check this out. Are you getting that, Daniel? So when he turns that, the locking mechanism would lock the two ends of the modules together. So he simply sells the end of the module, and they're cut to the right size so that if you put your 1x4s on the outside and make a box frame, it's designed just right so that he's got 12-inch through 18-inch, and he sells those for $60 per pair plus shipping. He also has them at 20-inch through 24-inch, and those are $66. And these are made out of high-quality
Yes,
plywood.
They are.
They're lined up.
Birch.
Birch. They're lined up with these great big dowels that line up the modules so that when you put them together and you lock it with the Allen wrench,
They are completely foolproof too.
it's tight. It really is. They're in the process of building a website right now, and it's not up yet. But you can reach them by phone, and that is 317-665-8849, and I will put that on the bottom of the screen. The website should be up in the next less than 30 days, and you will be able to find that at mod-u-lock.com. And I'm also putting that at the bottom of the screen. Another great company that makes great product, and he says he's eventually going to get to the point where he can make 36-inch. So if you want to make a modular layout that is 36 inches wide, he'll have these designed for you there too. So feel free to contact Tim Wilson on the phone and talk to him about your ideas on the modular layout that you might be planning, because this Modulox system is pretty foolproof. No C-clamps, no bolts, no magnets,
Yep.
a locking mechanism that keeps it together tight and lines up your track just right.
You'd think that'd be something the Fremo guys would like.
Oh, I know. Chris Palomares just got his Fremo modules back to him. Thank you very much, Ed Dressel, for driving those to Colorado for me. Rock and roll. Denny Yelsma contacted us this week and said that he has got 8 brand new designs that you can put on jackets or hats or any type of material you want. And I've got some of them here that I'm going to show you. First of all, it was a California Zephyr. This is really beautiful, and this would look great on the back of a jacket. I know you saw these too, didn't you, Campbell? The one you liked was the Bessemer.
Bessemer, because I know Raymond Brown is going to have a fit over that that logo.
Bessemer and Lake Erie Railroad. How about that? He's got a Union Pacific one. It looks like Union Pacific F3s with the screens on the side. There was a Vermont Rail System emblem that he
Is
had
that
made.
a Spirit of St. Louis that I see over there?
Is that what that is? Spirit
That
of St.
is,
Louis,
the
the
Penske,
Pennsylvania
yeah.
Railroad, a famous passenger train
That's
that they
very
ran.
cool.
I think T1s pulled that one. That was a neat train. Also, the Atlantic Coastline R1, the 484 Northern locomotive, number 1808, Western Maryland. It looks like an SD40. Nice looking. I mean, think about that. This is all stitched. So all of this artwork and all the detail that you see in these images that I'm showing you is all stitched. And the last one, I can't make out what that says. Does this say Gulf Mobile in Ohio on it?
No, I don't think so.
My.
Wait a minute, I got 2 pairs of glasses.
That may be Milwaukee.
And he still can't see a thing.
Yeah,
It looks like golf.
he has it.
mobile.
Okay, yes, it is mobile line. You're right.
That's Campbell Rice's railroad right there. How about that? And that is the passenger car that you can have put on the back.
Yep.
And he's got a sale going on for the What's Neat This Week viewers presently. And that is if you buy a jacket, any jacket with the new emblems on them. And these new emblems, by the way, are not on the website yet. Okay, but you can call Denny on the phone. And you can find the phone number at yelsma.com and order these new logos, these 8 new logos I just showed you. He's having a sale, he told me, in the month of January for the What's Neat viewers. If you order a jacket from him, he will sell you a hat for half price. So rock and roll, that's only
Nice.
$7.50 for the hat. Or a polo shirt of your choice with your emblems on them that you like. And that is also half price. You get a polo shirt like what Daniel's wearing right now for $15. That's half off. So thank you very much, Denny. And it sounds like Denny might be coming here in February or March to come visit us again.
Right.
And it's going to be a lot of fun when he does that.
Yep.
Campbell Rice, was there anything you wanted to talk about?
I think we covered it all.
You did.
On my end.
How about Sugar Fire Joshua?
Sugar Fire is a great place to eat. Come and see us, St. Louis.
Dan Missio is going to be visiting with us the last week of this month of January. This is January,
Yeah,
right?
20,
Yeah,
23rd.
sure is.
2021.
We're in January still. I know. I'm working on March's video next. And he's going to hang out with us. We're going to take him to Sugar Fire.
Oh, yeah, we are.
That's going to be fun. We're also going to get him over on the Port Harbor Railroad, and maybe he can drive a real train. That'll be really cool.
That's right.
The last thing that I do want to say is we're going to run some trains tonight, and Carrie and Russell are going to be using the NCE Power Cab, and I hope to get some B-roll video of that because I want them to see how easy it is to use this system. It is ergonomically simple to use with the roll thumb, you got 2 different ways to run it. With a smaller throttle, you've got the potentiometer, which is the old school that we all love, and then you've got the thumb wheel on the larger handheld unit. Both of them are radios, so they're not going to be tethered down to a wire. They're going to be able to follow the train all the way around the room while they run it. And that's the NCE Power System. If you all are looking to purchase a DCC system from your layout, I can tell you that we all use it. Joshua does. We've all used this system. Daniel does. Mike Buddy, he is not here tonight, but he's got his new system. We know Jennifer Kirk in England, 5 of her friends now use it. So many of you viewers have purchased this system, and there's been no negative feedback. They work. They do just what they're supposed to do. So you can run your trains and pay attention to them rather than mess around fumbling with the throttle trying to figure out how to run it. That's what we like about it. Rock and roll. Thank you very much. NCE, the power of DCC. And so with that, guys, this is the best hobby in what, Daniel?
I was going to come around and say thank you to Denny for my shirt.
Oh,
Oh,
that's nice.
Well, maybe.
Get it. Stand right.
Stay right here.
he just wants to run around.
Daniel, stand right in front of the camera right there.
That one right there on the train.
Hey, Denny, I want to say thank you for this shirt.
Daniel,
Great,
move
you did a
in the
good job
frame.
on it.
Move in the
This
frame.
way.
Moving.
This way.
There we go.
There you go. Perfect.
As I said, thank you, Denny, for the shirt. It's great. All right, that's all.
Best hobby in the world with the best people in it. Carrie Gray, Russell Tamarez, Sugar Fire Joshua Barton, Campbell Rice, Dan Scheidel. Thank you for being with us tonight, and thank you for working with
I
us.
think you have something for Carrie, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Every time we do a show, it's always a matter of respect.
Aw, look at you making me feel all special and stuff.
That's the way we do
They're
it.
beautiful.
I want flowers.
Russell, I will
He
gladly
never buys
share
me flowers.
one.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm feeling you. I'm left out too. I wanted some flowers.
I'll pick one for you. You want one? I'll share with
Awesome.
you.
I wanted my own set.
I'll buy you
right.
flowers. I'll bring them to work. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here, and let's say it all together, guys. Let's
go
go
run
run
some
some trains.